that's nice about that. Like it's a big enough city for business, but it's a small town. Like everybody knows everybody, and it's kind of nice to have that feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Especially for us, like I mean, I'm from south of France, from like not a huge city, and I like that, like where you can relate. Like we walk on the street, we kind of know everybody, and that's kind of nice.
So how did you two meet?
Real quick, this is a good story. Pull that the mics up to you, just like a fist length away. There we go.
It feels awkward, but
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, we. I actually moved here in 1995, I think. I was a professional athlete. I was in France, and then I had somebody who came to France. I was racing jet ski, which is a small sport, but
Wow. Was it like the stand-up jet ski? Or
I did both, the stand-up and the sit-down.
Cool.
But then Bombardier, which is
8-time world champion.
No way.
Yeah.
You left out that detail. That's an important. That's a good thing John's here.
Yeah. You keep filling in what she leaves out.
I'm going to have to, because she doesn't like to talk about it.
That's so cool.
so Bombardier sent some guys in Europe because they were creating a women's class in a sit-down. That's when the sit-down were getting
More popular.
And then they pick up they were looking for women to race here, and I was the one. So they picked me up, and then that's how I came here. So that's how I get my papers.
Wow.
They get my green card and everything. I got it with that.
Did you feel like the process was easier with you being an athlete, like that route, or was it still difficult
yes,
first? Yeah,
because we have a nice story about the papers. Yeah.
I love
so
these stories.
for me that was super easy. I came here. I raced for 15 years, traveled the world, got my papers. It was super easy.
Wow.
So when I met JP, I was still in Melbourne.
No, Miami.
I was in Miami.
Yeah, Miami.
And when I stopped racing, it's a small sport. When you stop, you have to do something. So I started a business where I was doing jet ski tours and training for people. And he was in France, and he was doing jet ski
Just for fun, myself.
He was working a lot already.
Yeah.
And then he came.
Fish business in France myself for like 18 years actually, when I met Corinne,
Oh, wow.
And after like a divorce, we start to take a lot of vacation, we ski a lot. And actually one of my best friends was dating Corinne friend.
Yeah.
And we were ready to go to Morocco, just us together to have fun, like 10 days or whatever. He said, oh, you guys don't want to go to Miami? I got my friend, she's 8-time world champion. She organized a tour. It's the whole package. 10 days, jet ski, Miami, world champion. Say, okay, we go.
Easy sell.
And that's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met in Miami.
2005.
Yeah.
Corinne, who was right behind in second, got the break she needed. She took the lead all the way to the finish, winning a second consecutive world title in the women's runabout division.
We had a great race. It's very good because I'm world champion and I need this. I'm very happy I can keep my plate number one and prove one more time that Sea-Doo is the best boat in the world.
How things developed from there when you guys met? It was just
So we met. He was in France. I was here. For me, it was no way that I was going back to France. My life was here, so I didn't want to go back. I didn't have a lot at the time. Actually, when you came, I started to work on a restaurant as a waitress because my business went down after the year where we had the 7 hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
Back to back. So I'm like, that's it.
Man.
I'm done with that. I don't want to do it anymore,
Yeah.
There were 7 hurricanes?
Yeah,
It was nuts. They were hitting
like
all over.
back to back to back.
2004?
I think it was
it was
2004,
It was 2004, like right here on this side of the coast, you had like 3 or 4, and then you had some coming up the other side. And
the weather was just nasty. For 6 months, I didn't have any business. I went down. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. So you're like, okay, now I need to do something. So I started to work. Actually, when I met him, I started to work on a restaurant in Miami. So that said, he had a successful business in France. You can step up.
I mean, I started, I was 21 years old, my own business, like fish markets. And I had 1 and 2 and 15 and then 2 employees and 17 employees when I met Corinne, you know.
Oh, wow.
But I was by myself, and I kind of liked the idea of moving in the United States. And I said, okay, I mean, if I can sell that business, it's kind of big, so I'll try something. And then I put it on the market, and like 3 months later, I got a big offer. So, okay, I guess everything go together, then I'll try. I'll sell the business. I had another one, smaller, so I keep the smaller one just in case. And then I'll try something.
What kind of business do you do, JP?
Fish market.
Oh, wow.
I was on the fish market, yes.
Yeah.
So you had the fish market, and then you had a big business with.
I was reselling fish for restaurants, actually, you know, like 150 restaurants a day. I was providing fish like those big company does, like Costco, Cisco, not Costco, but Cisco and US Food. And then I sold that business, and I started to do, for 4 years, I did 44 round trips. I was spending a week here in the beginning and 3 weeks in France.
Oh, wow.
I know that because when I did the application for green card, you have to write it down all the entrance in the United States. 44 round trips in 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's love right there, right?
That's a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also a lot of airline miles.
A lot.
You get those points racked up, too?
I had like a couple of tickets free a year, you know? And I tried to open a business in Miami. I like Miami a lot, and that was so complicated. The economy was bad back in 2008, and I could not find. I got few concepts.
Yeah.
Few ideas, but I don't know. Nobody was excited about my concept. Nobody wants to rent me a space, a good space at least.
Yeah.
Say, we don't know you. You don't know.
Right.
I mean, it's not about the money. It's about, you know, you're going to open a store right there. And then if you're not successful, people, they were not ready for me. You know, say, okay, well, I guess.
Yeah, mine was
tough.
weird.
That was really, really tough. And the rent were like to the roof, you know. And people like say, you know, if you open a business, they're going to maybe, with health inspection and whatever, maybe for like 6 months, you're going to wait to get your license, and you're going to lose your money before even you start your business, running your business. I kind of scared a little bit. And she came up with the idea of Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, we came here.
And we find that place where Bella was.
Yeah.
You remember that spot? That was a restaurant. Everybody was crazy about Bella. Say, oh, yeah, that's a great spot. And the parking next to the city hall was in construction. So we're going to open at the right time. So people are going to park over there. They're going to walk in front of the burger place. We're going to get crazy busy. And then the backside of it, it's like nobody wants to use our parking. We had not enough foot traffic, and that was kind of slow.
Yeah.
After like a year, 2 years, I said, this is the wrong spot. We have to move. And I started to do a lot of research, buildings everywhere. I could not find anything. And then 3 years later, about 3 years later, we find that spot.
Yeah.
And we move, and we had the 2 locations. That was like tough, you know, because we decided to move everything. We start from scratch. We spend another ton of money to rebuild everything. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a bar, no windows, no door. The parking next door, there was no patio. There was an old parking lot with dirt.
What you guys have done with that space is just
Yeah, it was.
phenomenal. It's so
I just
cool.
follow along, but yeah, he had a vision because when I saw the place, I was like, that was like the hallway. It was all
Teamwork.
black because it
Love
was like a G Lounge at the time. It was like a nightclub, bar, whatever.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
windows. And I was like, what are we going to do here?
Yeah, downtown
He's like,
Melbourne
okay.
had about a 30-year span where it had a very storied past.
Yeah.
There was because it used to be all, I mean, you see the old-time photos, which we have around here, of like downtown Melbourne. It's just like, oh, this is like a little cool,
Antique
quaint.
store
And then like
everywhere.
between like 1980 and like 2005, it was just, what happened?
Yeah, you're right.
But it's companies like yours that came in that it kind of started this revitalization in Melbourne, and it started bringing families back, and you know, so I mean, what you guys did with that space is awesome. Yeah,
Thank you.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, and it was good for us to have an outdoor, you know. Too.
Hey, are we picking up my dog?
No, she's...
Right. I mean, if it's easier to have her out here, I mean, she can come out. Okay, you're good. Okay. Yeah, so everyone knows I have my 2 dogs here, and looking at my size, you would think that, you know, oh, he's got a couple of pits or something. No, they are poodles. I have 2 small poodles, and I prefer it. because they don't.
Princess Bubblegum, right?
It's Bonnabelle Bubblegum, Princess Bonnabelle Bubblegum. The kids came up with the names. That wasn't me. And then BMO. Yeah. And actually, on his papers, his paper name is the Marquis de Lafayette.
Marquis de Lafayette. That's a great name.
yeah. So but BMO is just sitting there, just waiting to be played with, and Bonnie's freaking out. So we call her Bonnie for short. She is adorable, by the way. I mean, she's just this. I'm just going to describe her for you guys. She is this short, white, plumpy dog. And I nicknamed her Plop because that's what she'll just come and she'll just plop all of her weight on you. There's no like gentle movement. It's just.
And it's like a few ounces, so it's no big deal. You know what I mean?
Well, but she's heavier than anyway. She's a chunker, but we love her.
Welcome to the Legacy Angel Network Venture Lounge, where nothing ventured is nothing changed. For Matt Helmenthaler, press 1. For member services, press 2. For real raw startup stories, press 3. For all other questions or concerns, please wait on the line in our
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Helmenthaler, and you're listening to Venture Lounge, after-hour conversations with founders and investors. These are the stories, insights, and conversations that you aren't going to find on the company website. Because the real lessons you learn in the startup world, the risks you take as an entrepreneur, the highs and the lows, the moments in your journey when no one else believes in you right before you break through. Those are the moments that you just have to hear for yourself. So grab a drink and listen in to the men and women who are changing the world. Welcome to the Venture Lounge.
We're excited to have you guys on before we get into the story. Welcome back to Venture Lounge, everybody. Nothing ventured, nothing changed. My name is Connor Sherman, Creative Director here at Legacy Angel Network. We're here with our fearless founder, Matt Helmenthaler. Matt.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see everyone.
Good morning. Yes. And we got JP. We got Corinne. Right? Am I saying it right?
Yes.
By the way? Okay. All right. Is that close enough, or are you being nice?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, if you wanted to say it in French, you can try, but nobody can.
So say it in French to give us the...
Karine.
My name is Jean-Philippe, but nobody can say Jean-Philippe.
Jean-Philippe?
Jean-Philippe, yeah.
Jean-Philippe.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you guys know how much of a miracle this is. It's kind of ironic. Connor and I both grew up with severe speech impairments.
For real?
And now we have a podcast that tens of people watch. And so, it's isn't that ironic?
Yeah, it is a weird thought, man. I never, when you put it that way, it's pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's super cool.
Thank you for inviting us.
Well, it all started by being big Burger Place fans, you know. That's
It is like their burger is amazing.
Bro, that 16 ounce, I mean, stop.
I cannot get rid of those.
I have no portion control at all. Like, 16 ounce with the large fries, the large Coke, you know what I mean?
I mean, you can, you know. You see how big you are, you have to, you know.
I'm the same, but I have to have the ghost pepper cheese.
Yeah, the ghost pepper cheese.
People love that cheese.
Oh my gosh, that ghost pepper cheese is just...
It's delicious, I agree.
So like you were saying, that place it just didn't exist before you guys moved to Melbourne, right?
Nope.
No, we
created everything. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, where did the inspiration come from? Talk about that. You were talking about it being a dirt parking lot and looking like a penitentiary or something before. You know?
No, there was definitely some things going down in that location that was not very family friendly.
Yeah.
But now it's got like this really cool retro vibe. The teals and the yellows everywhere. It's just like a ton of fun. You know?
Yeah, that's his idea of the retro thing.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I used to look at those movies in France. You know, America for us was a diner, you know. And when I moved here, I was there is not that many diners, you know.
Where are all the diners?
America lied to you, man. They lied to you.
I know, except Denny's or stuff like that.
Oh,
that I was kind of, you know.
Hey, that's a sweet Appalachian memory, Denny's. All right,
okay. Look,
I hold it close and near to my heart.
I have post Denny's visits. I had no sweet memory.
But listen, like 2 or 3 in the morning, Denny's is there for you. That's
that's the only one.
Where is everything else?
See, but I skipped that. I started having kids when I was 19.
Right. Okay.
There was no 3 a.m. Denny's for me. Like, it just didn't happen.
Okay, there's a funny story about Denny's. When I first
we all did the same. I did the same too, actually.
When I first moved to America for the races, we were going to restaurant. At that time, I didn't speak English. The only place where I could eat was Denny's because they had pictures on their menus.
Really? That's
So I was looking
funny.
at the menus like, I want this, and that was it. That was my Denny's experience because they are the only place when they
Well,
had pictures of
That's
food.
amazing.
To Denny's.
To Denny's.
Cheers to that. Yeah. But yeah, so you started this diner concept. Like, give us like the just the build out, like how this come to be for you guys. What's been your journey in creating this thing, and how long now has it been in operation?
Almost 14 years.
Amazing.
It's gonna be 14 years in beginning of the year, right?
Yeah,
We
January.
started in
January 2010. That's when we started. Yeah.
Miami, we were more ready, but I was more my job. Corinne, she was more on the sport, jet ski.
Yeah.
I just follow along.
And in the beginning, I tried to do like we do have in French, those sandwich gourmet, like a baguette with prosciutto, foie gras, cheese. And I started to talk people about it back in 2008, 9. They were not too excited about it. Baguette, we don't like crunchy bread. And say, okay. And every single restaurant, burgers. And not that great, Really? And one day, Miami, actually, the real story, this is the real story. One day, Miami, I saw a line of people in front of one restaurant. I said, what the heck? I was driving my little scooter. I said, what the heck is that going on over there, That was a burger joint. Maybe I'm not going to give you the name, I don't know. And the next day...
You can?
The next day, I went back there, and then a line, crazy. That was Five Guys.
Oh,
And
wow.
I tried. Five Guys was just arriving to Miami. And I tried. It was okay, but it's nothing special. What people are crazy about it, I don't get it.
Right.
And then he came home
I
that
came home
day.
and said, that's it. I know what we're going to do.
Yeah,
We're gonna
because
sell-
he was like searching. I was working at the time, and he was like still doing the trip, France too. And he was looking around, what kind of business? And then one day he came and said,
I know what
"That's
we're gonna
it.
do.
I know what we're gonna do."
We're going to sell burger. It's going to be better, cheaper, bigger. And we're going to do like a retro style. And that's
And
it.
we're gonna do our
Amazing.
own bread because in France we all about the bakeries and the French bread. Like we love bread.
Yep.
So that was his idea. Was like, okay, we're gonna do our own bread. We're gonna have a bakery,
Yep.
and we're gonna do our own bread.
In front of people, they're going to look the whole process. They're going to watch the whole process. And we put all that together, my ideas, Corinne's idea. And then we built the burger place.
Amazing.
Yep.
I love the name.
Yeah, it's so
because,
simple.
Yeah.
That's funny, because we were searching for a name, and then like
We have a really good friend who helped us a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well-
Catherine.
yeah.
And she will help
It
us
was
a
great.
lot.
It's great. It's so brilliant because it's I've said, hey, have you guys tried the burger place downtown? And people go,
What's the
what's it
name?
called?
Yeah, exactly.
The burger place.
yeah.
No, but the name
Yeah.
is the burger place.
We got it all the time.
But it's great. It's awesome. It's the place you go to get a proper burger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And and that's the key, I think, to having a good business is find this thing that you just do really well and do it better than anybody. And I think you guys have nailed it. I mean, the bread,
Yeah, and
everything. I mean, it's just.
His experience in the fish business. In the fish business, you have to be really meticulous about everything. Fish can easily get bad or smell or whatever. And when I was going to his place in Paris, you enter the place, it didn't even smell like fish.
Oh wow!
So he took all this, the finesse and everything, and he put it in a burger place. So that's how I think we got really successful because everything is. I mean, you don't see the backside of it, but every single leaf of lettuce, we go one by one. The tomato, he picked all the tomato. You should see how many pickles he throw away because there's a hole on it. Or, it makes me crazy.
Yeah.
But I think this is our success.
That's how we build a success. Because you go at the burger place Monday to Saturday, you always have the same burger. Same look of bread. The bread, we're baking bread every single day, twice a day. Then that makes the difference,
100%.
Lettuce, tomato, always perfect.
I'm gonna need to go to the burger place today.
I-
For lunch.
Honestly, I serve,
guys-
and I always did that even on the fish market. I serve what I like to eat as well, and what I would love to get on my plate, If
Right.
it's not perfect, I don't send it, That's really the truth,
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I teach my employees, that was hard in the beginning, to don't put the fingers on the bread, to get a perfect bread when we arrive to the table, because people are going to eat with their eyes first. And if it's the price, it's okay. The look, it's okay. When they bite on burger, it's good. That's it.
Yep.
We're going to be successful,
No, I love the concept of doing like one thing really well. It's not like the burger place with like 12 salad options. You know what I mean? Or like
you know how many
pizza,
people
or
give us ideas? Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Like, but it's been
working. Yeah.
It's been 10 years, 12, 13.
No.
It's been working. We're not going to change anything. The only
100%.
thing we added, it's the veggie burger after a few years.
The
Because
ghost pepper cheese actually after
the
5-6
ghost pepper,
years.
nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a couple of things. And the veggie was a tough one for us because everything is fresh. And
Right.
we don't like to use frozen stuff beside our nuggets.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we're like, no way we're going to do a veggie burger. It's
Right.
too complicated. So we went through the process to try a bunch of them. And then we find one that we like, or I like, because you don't eat this too much.
Once
but-
in a while, though.
It's,
yeah.
Those vegans and vegetarians just ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, it's like the bun.
kidding. I'm just
No,
joking.
it's
I'm
like
joking.
the bun. A lot
I'm
of people
joking.
ask us for gluten-free bun,
Right.
but a batch of bread is 250 buns. So it's no
Yeah.
way we would throw away. Like we don't sell enough of the
Right.
gluten-free. So
Yeah.
now we do the lettuce wrap for
Yeah,
people who can
people
have
okay with that.
gluten.
No.
No, yeah, love that, man. It's like the, Martin Scorsese does something like one thing really well. It's like that mob movie. It's that, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what to expect kind of deal. And I think people underestimate that when you do that one thing just better than everybody else because you're obsessed with those 50 details, don't touch the bun, how you deliver it, like all those things. It
My
just makes for
my
more
return
magic.
is like really the return of the customers. You know, we have a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
We have customers come back like twice a week, 3 times a week.
Yep.
It's a problem.
The numbers go
Yeah.
higher every year. Then, for me, this is that talks to me. You know, it's just that's it.
It's a legacy.
It's a legacy. Yeah, that's it.
I
you know?
mean, there's going to be kids who. I mean, you've been in business for 14 years. There's definitely kids who went to your burger place with their parents who are now adults going to the burger place.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
I mean, it's
we had women pregnant, and now we see the kids, and
They're 13
Yeah.
years old,
they're
12
13 years
yeah.
old.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's it's stuff that they're going to remember, and they're going to tell their kids about it. I mean, it's that kind of place, and it's a staple. It really is a staple in downtown Melbourne. It's a staple in Brevard. I mean, it's really cool, guys. I mean,
Thank
you guys
you.
have
Thank
created
you.
something super special. Yeah.
I mean, we work hard at it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're still there. We're
Yeah.
still working. He's working every day. I'm trying to
Oh, yeah, I'm there every day.
slow down a little, but
So is there going to be a season where you're working there less?
no. Actually, this is supposed to be a slow month,
And
and it's been crazy this
busy,
month.
No, I mean in general, like in your life. Is there
Oh.
a plan to let somebody else run it? Well, I mean, because Connor's looking for some work. I'm kidding. No. But I mean, is it?
This
the
is
case-
complex.
Yes.
This is complicated.
I can tell. It
The
would be
answer,
very
will be,
difficult
the answer
for you.
will be yes. Let's say in 5 years from now, I would love to get a manager, like a couple who can take over a little bit. We'll still be there. But I really enjoy what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
I always go to work every day. I like to be on the kitchen with my guys.
Well, that's
Right.
what's so crazy about it too. Is like Aubrey was just through knowing you through CrossFit and everything, saying you guys were talking about that's what you do, and then when you go, the kitchen is open and you guys are back there. It's not
We're
like
always
you
there, but I
have-
love doing that. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
I don't like doing paperwork or marketing, or I like to be on the kitchen and
Yeah.
control the quality and be with my guys and show
And we-
them how to work. And that's how we make the success as well. You know?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, we have a really good team, so it makes a difference too.
Now, yes.
Now, yeah, we had years where like but now we have a really good team. We have a good manager, Emily, the little girl that you see there all the time, and it makes a big difference. Like we go there, it's family, we having a good time. I mean, it's true. Now it's like
We have a
it's-
cook, Michael.
Yeah,
When is the date?
January 25th. It's going to be 10 years
With us.
that is with us.
amazing.
Our cook.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know, that's
Yeah.
awesome. We have to do something for him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
wow, I was talking to it. It's funny. I was talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Then I pull up the paper. I'm like, oh, Mike, 10 years in January that you with us, you know? So
Oh,
it's
you
like
guys
it's
should get him like
family.
a little burger trophy.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should do that.
You should get a burger trophy in like 10 years, and that'd be
And
cool.
Yeah.
that guy, never had a fight with him, never argue, so polite.
Super nice, yeah.
It's amazing.
awesome.
That says a lot, y'all, that you guys can be back there in that little tiny kitchen and operate like in harmony like that. You know what I mean?
I,
Yeah.
I only know one other couple, and I don't know them. I just know of them. I've talked to them a couple times. I only know one other couple in this town who does what you guys are doing, but they do it for a chain restaurant. So they own the only Hardee's in Brevard County.
What's the name?
Hardee's.
Oh, Hardee's.
It's a fast food chain,
Yeah.
but it's the only one in Brevard County. It's in Palm Bay off of Babcock. Actually, it's Melbourne.
That's funny, man. I didn't know
Off
there
of
was
Babcock, and they're in there every day
I didn't know
with
that.
their employees, their own, and they operate it together. And when you go in there, it's a fast food chain, so it's fast food. But their teams, the way that their team runs, and their employees stay there for a really long time, and it's a hyper efficient, wonderful experience when you go in.
Yeah.
It's not like any other chain restaurant that you'll go to in town. And it's cute. They're still there doing it together and working together every day. And
Yeah, I think it makes a difference, when the owner are there because you don't operate the same thing.
Sometimes it's a lot of stress for us because we have all those kids because they all like, Michael is a little older, he's 35 years old, but
Yeah.
they average 25, they come with all those stress, they got a bad night, a bad day, a bad boyfriend, a bad girlfriend, and then we have all the energy, those good energy or bad energy. Then we have to bring the good energy every day, but sometimes we have like to take care of them, it's tough,
right.
That's the
right.
hard part, I think, managing all those kids, it's just is.
oh yeah, absolutely. I used to be a youth pastor.
Oh, wow.
So I get it. I mean, it's of course, and I raised three kids, but you're right. They bring in all this different energy, and so you're not only a business owner, but you become kind of like a little bit of a counselor too, and a little bit. I mean, it's all those things.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's probably why people stay with you guys so long as well, because you care.
Yeah.
but
People who care about what they're doing in the business, we care for them. That's
Yep.
what he said all the time. He say, if you show us that you care, we'll be there for you.
Right.
Now, if you just do the stuff for you and just here for the money, I mean, too bad.
Yeah, we
It's
help them a
not
lot. Like our cook who's been here with us for 10 years.
good. Yeah.
He got evicted from his house and he was outside like
Not evicted, but
I mean,
they were
kind-
raising his rent like crazy.
kind of. He was like $800
Yeah.
to $1,500. He could not pay that. Two kids. That was a 2-bedroom.
Oh, man.
And he started to stress about it.
Yeah, he was ready to go live in Titusville
Titusville.
because the rent was crazy here.
After
Yeah.
COVID, the rents were
Oh,
to the
yeah.
roof. Then we decide to we bought an apartment for him, and we renting the apartment like really cheap.
Yeah, super cheap for him. But it's a way to thank him
Yeah, of
for
course,
all
man.
his loyalty, and for him he has now a really nice place for his family. He's paying a rent,
Right.
but a lower rent. But,
Right.
and one day we hope maybe he's gonna
gonna buy
buy
it.
it. We told him we'll sell it for the price we buy. We don't care, It's just
That's
for
so
him
cool.
to be good. Yeah.
Amazing, y'all.
That's
But
so
he
cool.
deserves it. I mean,
Right.
he's been here for us, never miss a day, and he's
And we have a manager. We have trouble on one point as well. She lived 6 months with us,
yeah,
Emily, but now she's been with us for 3 years.
2-3 years
2-3.
maybe now. Yeah.
Amazing,
And then
y'all.
she works
And she
like
ran the place
crazy.
like it was hers too.
She worked 50 hours a week and
Wow.
always smile and then
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we're lucky.
That's so cool, guys.
we help them, but we got a good return.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a family. a
Yeah, it
little
is.
bit,
It is.
Yeah. That's really, really cool.
Well, now another thing that kind of separates you guys from just like any other joint that you could eat at, you know what I mean? Is like your all's entire dynamic. You're operating in a different way than just standard.
Yeah, and it's-
that's not like maybe if you're reading the manual, that's not what people would, or if there is one, that's
No,
not like
and-
standard business practice to like, you
And
know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny how people a lot of times people are like, are you gonna open a second one, or and then at the beginning the whole concept was okay, we're gonna do one and we open many. That was your first idea. That's why we get the color code
That
and
was my
everything.
dream to get a big franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's no way.
Well, when you want
Because
quality,
it's-
the way I want
yeah.
quality is really hard to get multiple like restaurants like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's really hard to keep the same quality.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because really, it's even like a belief system in the core of a human being where they're going to care for it as if it's their own, and they're going to be as meticulous and as passionate as you are.
Yeah.
That's very difficult
It
to
is.
duplicate. It's very.
It's a burger place, but people call it Burger Palace.
Yeah.
The Burger Palace. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
awesome.
But yeah,
I like that.
think it's if you take care, if to take good care of you one business, sometimes it's better than have like 3 who kind of so, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was us that just, expanded a little bit. And
No, and I love it, like what you guys are doing. It is like this beautiful mix of art and business kind of thing. I heard somebody or I was listening to Rick Rubin describe the difference between like art and business, and he's saying like business, you're hitting quarterly objectives. Art is like something that is like timeless. You know what I mean? That timeless lasts forever. And so, like with y'all's approach on quality, it seems to have that impact on people. That's what you're trying to upkeep, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, yeah. That is absolutely one of my favorite places. I've been trying to work out more, and so I've not been visiting your establishment as often as I was. But after our talk today,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, burgers is protein. Protein is
That's
good.
what I say.
sure, that's you know what? I'm going to use that to convince myself. You need protein.
We'll see you guys
Just
in
don't
about
eat the
an hour.
fries, and then
Oh, those fries. Oh, so good. Those fries are so good. Yeah.
One of our partners here is like a Chick-fil-A's franchise owner, and
Yep.
we were just we were over shooting content with him this week, and like the parallel I see between you guys is like what was so funny to me. Like at first I thought it was kind of silly, or I thought he was joking, but like him and his managers, like even when we're in non-transactional conversation, like we're just like, I'm like, hey man, thanks for everything you're doing for the shoot today, and they're like, yeah, my pleasure. Like they still say that Chick-fil-A thing, like and I thought they were like maybe it was a joke, but it's not. Like they're just that bought in. Like they just believe that much in what they're doing, even if it's just making a really good chicken sandwich, And I think that is the separator between just that so burger you get anywhere, and what you guys do, which is cool.
And it's really the key to any successful business is creating a culture of excellence.
Yeah.
If you can create a culture of excellence with your core team and they're all bought in, that team, I mean, you can fix a product, right? You can fix a process. It's hard to fix people. And so if you can get the right people and the right team and the right core and they're all bought in like that, you can have a very successful company.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still working on it. I don't really have a lot of buy-in from these guys. I'm just kidding. but that's what actually makes our company different and special with what we do. Other than what we do is really being done in Brevard the way that we're doing it. But I have an excellent team, and they are family. They are bought in. Like we love each other. We put up with each other, but we all push each other, to excellence. And it helps too that I'm on ADHD medication now. That's made everybody's life a lot easier. So.
No, it is.
Sorry, did I just say that?
No, it's fine. No, it's a pursuit of excellence for sure, man. Like when you find other people that want that same thing, it sounds like you guys found that with your cook, with your.
Well, it takes time, I mean,
Yeah,
it takes time and
we had rough years for sure.
And it's not permanent, unfortunately, because the people they work and then at one point they want to do something else. It's like, now we need to find. And now it's at the point where we have such a good team that the next person who comes along has to fit. Sometimes we get people and then they stay for like 3-4 days. Like, no, sorry. So one other person doesn't like that person. Okay, you out. So you have to fit in. If you don't fit in, it's not gonna work. So
amazing.
Well, but I mean, some people might see that as like, well, that's protecting your team. That's protecting your business.
Yeah. Because one bad person, not bad person, but one person with a bad energy, that will bring down the whole team. Because you feed to that, and it's like.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, is it? Do we jump into the other questions, or what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right. I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Actually, two questions. Two questions. We end our podcast on these two questions like every single time. So, first question is, so every human being. Let me qualify it. Every human being's got their own inner. This the thing that drives you, right? And it kind of makes you who you are. So what is that for you guys? And then the second question would be, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners that watch our podcast, literally tens of people. 100. It is. I'm being sarcastic. But what advice would you offer an entrepreneur, someone who's thinking about going for it? Maybe they're in the middle of it. Like, what advice would you give to another business owner or entrepreneur as like a parting,
That's good questions.
Okay, what drives us? I guess we've talked about it. Love what you do, I mean, if you love what you do, it's driving you all the time, like trying to give the best of, what we can do. And that's what we do, like trying to, fresh food and the return of the customer.
Yeah, having good reviews and all those people who follow us, and you guys been talking about the way you talk to a burger place. I love to hear that, Having customers coming back every day, that's my, how do you say? I don't know, but...
reward?
Yeah, correct.
Feed you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
we have compliments every day. It's an open kitchen. People come to us every day.
14 years later, we still have people who
best
come.
burger. I never had a burger like that. I mean, that's it. I don't need more than that,
Yeah, after 14 years, that shows that we love what we do.
Yeah.
We're not like to the place where, whatever, But every day we have at least one person who comes to the kitchen. It's like, well, guys, you burgers, So that's super rewarding. And I think that's what drives us. It's like, just to have this reward every day and making people happy and having them coming back every day, that's a good thing.
That's awesome. So that kind of that inner, like, just that inner kind of excellence, probably in your personal life and in your business life, all that kind of meshes together. It's actually one thing. It's not compartmentalized. Like, this is who you are, and it just comes out in your business and in your food and everything else.
Yeah, and
it's awesome.
It's like we say, it's all about the energy.
Yep.
You work hard, but then you have people come to you and telling you that what you do is really good.
Yep.
I mean, what else? You want it's.
Yeah, we go to CrossFit. Everybody say, do you guys know the burger place? It's an amazing place. You have to go over there. That's it.
Yeah.
You make my day,
Word of mouth, yeah.
Right.
It's
of course,
good.
in the end, we have to make money, and we love because we're doing good, and then we work hard, play hard. That's what you guys say here in US, and it's easy through, We built like a lot of success. We bought some buildings, and we building a nice house, Melbourne Beach, and a lot of that, But on the other side, it's not all about money. It's all those returns as well from people who,
No, and you're talking about like you don't spend a lot of time thinking about marketing, JP. You're like in the food.
I am.
Sure. And dude, that is like when you create something that's remarkable enough that people want to talk about it. You're doing that. You know what I mean? Just through the quality of what you're making. It just. If people want to talk about something, that's like the purest form of marketing.
Yeah, and I always remember that he always say, to this day, it's very hard to create something new. You have to, it's impossible. Like as far as the food industry,
not impossible, but it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So he said, but if you do something that already exists, like we didn't invent the burgers. I mean, they were there.
Right.
But his idea was, okay, we're going to do it, but we're going to do it better.
Yep.
So, the fresh bread, the fresh meat, the fresh potatoes. He picked everything.
I don't say we're better than the other ones, but I do my way, the way I like, and
you try to make it better, in a way where and
respect the product. And I'm really picky, like as she said, I'm going to buy tomato. I pick my tomatoes. I mean, I don't serve little tiny tomato or like she said, pickles or. For people, it doesn't really matter. It matters for me, Next time when you come to burger place, open your burger and check your pickles. They're always the same size, always thicker. You don't have like a little piece of pickles and a big one, or
You've created something, even though you're not going to franchise, likely. You've created something that could be. I mean, you probably would pay double what you guys charge for it here in California, but you created a model that. I think you could plant almost anywhere in the country and it would have success because of, I mean, honestly, I would never want you guys to pick up and go, but literally you could take what you've done and have success anywhere you go because it's just
even in Europe, sometimes we go somewhere, I was like, oh my gosh, if we would put a burger place there, we'll kill it.
We actually have a lot of people who say, hey, you know, I live in Vero. I need a burger place in Vero Beach. I need a burger place in Coco. I need a,
Yeah.
We have that a lot,
Yeah.
right? Honestly.
Yeah.
But no, it's not going to happen.
It's got to be
Well,
one.
if you ever decide to do it and you need some investment, let me know.
Oh, we had that too. We had a bunch of
We
people
did,
that came to
actually.
us, yeah. But we always say, you want to invest? Are you going to work on it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm not going to
No.
invest. I mean, I might throw in a little bit, but I don't want to run it.
Exactly.
That's the problem. That's the
But
problem.
that's
Yeah.
the problem,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why we're still in ours, because
Yeah.
we don't find anybody who wants to do what we do.
Right.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say the money is not a problem anymore, but we could open another one, but who's going to run it? The way we run it.
It's
Right,
almost
right.
like
Yeah.
the culture that you're building up within, even among your staff. You might find in the coming years that like your next people that take it over are the ones that are already working there.
We're working on that.
It's actually that.
Yeah.
That's my goal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, because then you know the excellence carries on.
Exactly.
You know, and it's. I mean, so it really becomes a legacy. That's what legacy is. It's taking what we have,
Yeah.
and it's handing it back to the generation behind us and saying, "Hey, let me show you how," and then watching them have success where you had success, and handing that thing down. And that's really what you guys are doing. So kudos, really, really cool. And then advice for an entrepreneur.
I put a lot of love on my work, you know. That's what I say to my people, you know, all the time. When I sweep the floor, put love on your work. I mean, everything, you know. Then that's about it for me, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
A
man.
lot of love on
Just
everything
be
you
living
do,
it.
you know. And then you go work out, you clean your car, you do whatever you do, you know, just put some love on it, you know. And then, and if you don't like what you do, change it, do something else. Don't be miserable, you know. Do something
Yeah.
else. If you're not for that, you know.
Yeah, if you believe in, you know what, I mean, our path wasn't easy. Like, you know, when people see us now, it's like, oh, you know, the burger places, you know, it wasn't easy at all.
Right.
He got like extradited from the country for 8 months because of his papers and
man.
because of the 44
Round
travel.
trip, you know.
That
Wow.
one point where we got married, they're like, well, you spend more than 6 months in a country. I don't know if you know that, but when you are foreigners, you cannot spend more than 6 months in a country. We thought it was 6 consecutive months, and it wasn't. It was 6 months total, which it was illegal for like 3 years because he did those travel and it spent. But the day we got married, they decided that that was a fake marriage or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
And then he was on his way here. We had the burger place. We were,
I landed in Philadelphia.
yeah.
He
He
kept me in
landed,
custom for 6 hours, 7 hours, and he put me back on the plane back
I
to
was
France.
waiting for him in Orlando.
On
Yeah.
Earth.
And then they
8
told,
months.
yeah, and then so he was, and then we just got the Bella's building, and
Signed,
we
yeah, the
were
lease.
like doing the work on it. It was just started, and I went to pick him up, and then he's like, "Well, I'm not coming." I was like, "What do you mean you're not coming?" And then so they send him back to France. We called the lawyers. She's like, "It's okay, you know." Oh no, the guy told you it's okay. 3 weeks max, you know, 8 months. It was. I wrote to the senator, with everything.
We were supposed to open the burger place in November
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah,
And
then
I'm the one who did like some training for the bread and everything.
I
Carissa
had no clue. I didn't even know how to lit the fryer.
Yes.
So that was me, you know. And I was by myself. It was in France. I was like, the thing was like half done. I was like, oh,
You know, I feel
Really?
like these government agencies should get a grading and a point system like businesses too. Like you should be able to leave bad reviews on the.
Yeah.
you know
well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
because he invested
terrible.
all his money from France, like $200,000, you know, just to redo the burger, like the place altogether. We were ready to employ like 15 people. And I wrote that, you know, it's like, guys, come on, you know, he brought his money from France. He's ready to, and you kick him out. And he's like, he didn't want to come back. He did treat him
At one
like a
point, I said,
criminal.
you know,
I don't blame
At
him,
one
man.
point, he was like,
8
you know,
months, that's a long time.
I don't blame
No,
you.
it is a long time.
so
man.
8 months, he sent me some people to help me. I went back to France to learn how to make bread, you know, because we didn't know how long it was going to do, you know, to be,
Yeah, we
you know.
spent a fortune for that. That cost
And
us
at
a
one
fortune.
point, it's like, you have to open. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to open. I don't want to open by myself. No way. So we had some friend over, and then we pay a guy to help me,
A
like
chef,
a
yeah.
chef. And I ended up opening it by myself. He was still in France. And I was like, it was a nightmare. Like, I didn't know how to hire people. He was the one who knew everything about the business. I didn't. I was a jet skier, you know? It's like, what?
I am like I feel like I need to apologize for
That's okay.
I'm
No, but I mean,
sorry
you know,
that
it's-
happened to you.
it's-
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's the law, but
We never
but
talk.
see,
We never talk about that.
we never talk about
forget
this.
about
I
the
know.
stories, you know,
yeah, I know.
but,
I know. It's everything's rainbows and gummy bears now. But
Yeah.
but
Now,
And-
now,
and
I am, now I am American.
Yeah.
You know,
still,
Yeah, exactly.
still.
But then he came along a year later, about 8 months
8 months,
later.
yeah.
He came, and then everything was like, he was like, we're back on our feet, we're doing this. And then maybe like what, a month later, we receive a letter. The Bellas was owning the building at that time, and I don't know what happened. I don't remember. But we received a letter like we were supposed to leave the building. She was bankrupt, and they gave us 3 weeks to leave the building.
Really?
So he just came back. We were struggling.
America is awesome.
We spent all our money, and they gave us 3 weeks. So we were starting to look for like a warehouse to put our staff. What we gonna do? And then we ended up like figure it out. The new buyers like kept us. It's like okay, we're not gonna.
We bought the building,
But
but
if
we
the new
want- we
buyer,
want you as a tenant.
if the new buyer was planning to do something else, we would have been out. Like
Not
no
protected
protection
from the lease,
for
no.
the you know.
So
when
did you
lease
guys have
something.
any therapy during this time?
The work was our therapy.
Oh,
No,
my
no,
gosh.
no.
Just kept going.
Oh my gosh.
And then so we kept going, and then the 3 first year, like we didn't make any money. Luckily, he still has his business in France,
One
the
of them,
fish
yeah.
market. And then we were living off this, and but he's like, we're gonna go back to France. Like, he's like, I was successful in France. I'm not living this life here. It's like because he started from like being really successful in France to like being like nothing.
Yeah, no more money at one point. You know, it's just like
It was like, and then he was like searching, and every time like a building was opening up, downtown, he's like, we need to be on the main street. He knew that. He's like, that's it. We need to be on the main street. And every time there was a building, is like, he was calling, he's like, no, it's gone. He was like, really? And then that one, it wasn't even on the market. We got lucky.
we have a funny story about that. You can explain it. We have a funny story about the building.
Yeah, the new building that we had, it was a friend of a friend who, I mean, I don't want to say that story because I don't know if it's true or whatever. But
Kind of, you know.
it looks like they were playing poker, whatever, and he kind of, for 50 grand, he took over the G Lounge. Something like that. There was a story like that.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah. So that guy took over. He had no clue. Same thing. He wasn't really on a business,
It was in a game of poker that he
And
wanted?
Yeah, I think
He didn't want the
poker.
business, but I guess they talk about the poker. Hey, I got the building, and
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened, but he bought that place for
But he got that
50,000.
place and he
Can you
wasn't for
imagine
sale.
that guy going?
Yeah.
the guy go, hey, honey, I lost the business. The game of
I
poker.
don't know
That
if
probably
he
didn't
lose
go well.
business.
I don't
But,
think he lose it, but I think over a table
Right.
of poker, they were talking about it, and the guy said, I want to get rid of it, whatever. And then so that was a friend of a friend, and he came to us, and he's like, it was a bar, and he's like, well, we don't make enough money. We need to open something during the day. Maybe we can do a partnership where we open a kitchen, and then you do burgers over there.
He was ready to open the tiny window, put a little patio on the dirt with like a canopy or something. He said, "Oh, you gotta sell burgers?" I said, "No, I don't work like that." There's
Or
no
when
way.
he's saying, and we
2 minutes walking distance.
Yeah.
He said, "But one day, if you want to sell me your place, I'm here."
Yeah, and
3
then
days later.
3 days later, he came over. He
came
said,
over.
okay, I'm selling you the place. We're like, okay. And at that time, we didn't have a lot of money either,
No.
but we jumped on it. So
But
that's
Jade-
an advice to the investor too. If you really believe in something,
Yeah, go for
you
it.
go for it.
Yeah.
And we signed and we had no money.
And we bought $50,000 that location with nothing on it.
That was nothing. We had to do all over, and we already spent all the money on the first one.
He wanted 65,
Yeah.
and we knew he paid 50.
Yeah.
50. He said,
Yeah.
you know what? And he said, I sell you for 65. There was like $15,000 of music equipment, cameras.
So you can
TV.
keep everything.
Say, keep everything. I make a deal with you. And we knew because we knew his friend. But some people talk. We knew
Small
he paid
town.
Yeah.
And he said, I pay 65. I said, I make you an offer. You take everything, and I give you 50. And that's what we did. We took all the equipment. We give you $50,000, and then now we had a empty location, and we had to rebuild everything.
And
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
we had the lease on the other place.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So we decided to open, I don't know if you remember that, but we opened the seafood place.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't last because we were running it. The guy who was with us running it was a mess. So after like 8 months, I think they closed down. So for 2 years, we paid 2 leases.
Oh, wow.
we paid the most expensive storage place, you were calling it.
Yeah, because it was $5,000 a month. You know, it was
So we did the 2 locations. I mean, we were paying the lease because we had to go through the end of it.
Yeah.
And then when that day that was done, we went to
Total
Wine, bought the most expensive bottle of champagne. And it's like, that's it. We got it.
We have a picture. We like tired, exhausted. We have a lot of champagne.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
So that wasn't easy.
Yeah.
The first 3 years for us, 4 years was just crazy. But as soon as we moved, he was telling me, it's like, don't worry, we're going to make like 20, 30% more. And we made like...
we double it right away.
Right away. First day we opened, we doubled it.
Wow.
Location. That's the new advice as well for somebody who wants to 3 rules: location.
Yeah.
That's before anything,
Well, dude, and it like
And we're the proof of it. Like,
we are.
yeah.
Because it's like a block,
And people say, you should open another burger place. I have another funny story. You should open another burger place. I say, well, before I open another burger place, that one, I think we can do more about it, Then we decide, I don't know if you guys know about it, but we decide to build another building. The new room we got on the left, we built that 3-4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Because people were asking, hey, you cannot sit 20 people here. It's either way outside, but inside we could not sit a lot of people.
Oh.
Say, okay.
So we built up that little room.
I didn't realize that.
In front of the kitchen. That was the backyard.
That was the backyard.
Oh.
And at the time we bought the building. Mego Mali used to own the building.
Okay.
And we asked them an authorization to build. We were ready to rent and build because the business was doing good.
Well, they didn't want to sell at the
They
beginning.
didn't want to sell.
Yeah.
And then one of the partners was there. And then that day, when we were ready to sign the paper for the permitting,
Yeah, because
think
they
you
were.
said that, so-
Yeah, they were telling us like, okay, we're gonna
Build it for you.
build, and then you're gonna pay us, and they were going back and forth with the building. And then at that point, I told AJ, I was like, just sell us the building, so we don't have to worry about. And then I said, I know you don't want to sell, and he's like, well, everything is for sale. I'm like,
okay.
okay. So if
No,
everything
they're
is
an opportunistic group.
So same thing here. That wasn't for sale.
That wasn't for sale. Yeah.
And then we bought it. It wasn't for sale. Actually, the butchery was super mad because he was the first tenant, and he's like, he went to them. He's like, you guys, why you didn't tell me? He's like, well, it wasn't for sale, And
Dude, you guys, that's a score too. So you not only have a successful business, but you own the real estate.
yeah,
And in the restaurant business, if you can own your real estate, like that's a big. And so I mean, kudos, congratulations.
But see that you can start from like having a lot of, if you stick to it, because a lot of people will go like, okay, that's it, we're done.
Right.
But we just kept going and kept
keep pushing.
He's the one. Like I say, I'll follow along because he's the.
But you work hard too.
Yeah.
I think with the jet ski, all those years, make her like your staff. She could. You know.
man.
Well, it's that support though. It's that partnership. I think that's huge because I know that the ventures that I've taken in the last several years, without my wife's support, it just wouldn't. They wouldn't work.
I agree.
It's important.
Being together on it and being of like one mind about it is huge. So
Yeah.
again, guys, I'm just super impressed.
So
Thank you, guys.
grateful you're in our
We never
community.
talk about those stories.
No, we never.
No, that's
people don't know
cool
about
that you
that.
guys
Yeah.
shared it.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I got to get my bad business idea off my chest. Now that you guys have made the best burger, right? You got this fish market experience. What we need is the world's best fish fillet. You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like, instead of the Arby's, the Arby's fish fillet.
That's a separate
McDonald's fish
restaurant, though.
fillet.
That's a separate.
Imagine like a proper cut of fish on one of those big ass buns like you guys have with the ghost pepper cheese.
I could do it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Man, you just ruined it.
I had to say it.
They were already saying, all these
my
customers are
brain's
telling
like
us, hey,
fired,
you should do
exactly.
this.
No, it's fun. It's a fun exercise because you guys do stuff well. People want to see they could do anything. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like that.
yeah. Onion rings. People ask us for the
really?
longest
That's funny.
time to do onion rings. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, so we actually try because we listen
Really?
to the people. You remember? We
Yeah, I
tried
do.
the batter, we tried everything. And I was like, no way. And we didn't want to sell frozen
Frozen
onion
stuff,
rings.
yeah. Right,
We do
right.
fresh fries. We didn't want to do frozen onion rings.
Right, right.
And we tried, and it was so much work. And then we needed a new fryer because it was a mess. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
We're not doing onion rings.
Hey guys, we're happy with the burgers. We appreciate
No, we
it.
are. No, we're very happy with the burgers. In fact, likely if I can figure out what I'm going to do with my dogs. You'll likely see me today. You'll likely see me today.
Yeah, the coolest. Y'all's story is inspirational. We appreciate you being here, bringing what you do to Melbourne.
Thank you, guys.
Well,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so
Cheers
much.
and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for listening,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.